Oh, we literally just wrote the problem statement for 4. Thought we actually started it. Okay.
Well, I mean, writing down the problem statement is a start.
Fair. And we corrected my mistake from the other day. It's right minus left or top minus bottom. So this was the right side, this is the left side. So the area is equal to the integral from 0 to 1 of 12y squared minus 12y cubed, and then all of that minus 2y squared minus 2y dy. Now, I could split this, but that doesn't really make sense because they are like terms, so I can combine things together. So I would just do it that way. So the integral from 0 to 1 of negative 12y cubed. And then we've got 12y squared minus 2y, so 10y squared. And then minus a negative, so plus 2y dy. And yes, Josh, you can put a parentheses around it. And then we would integrate. So what is the antiderivative of negative 12y cubed?
Negative 3y to the 4.
Yep. What about of 10y squared?
10 thirds y cubed.
I thought it was just y, not y squared, because my hand was kind of over it, so I couldn't really see it. So when you said that, I was like, what? And then I moved my thumb, and I was like, oh. And then antiderivative 2y.
Y squared.
Yep. And we're evaluating from 0 to 1. So when I plug 1 in, I end up with negative 3 plus 10 thirds plus 1. And then I'm just going to do minus 0 just so that we see that we put all that. We put 0 in after that. So what does that end up being? Negative 2 plus 10 over 3. Does that end up being 4 over 3? So much easier, much faster, obviously, than the trig function one that was not an integral that you would have been expected to know.
I had one full bottle. It had strawberry lemonade packet in it. It's pretty good.
I actually haven't drank as much as I normally would have today. I don't know why I haven't been thirsty. I don't know.
I don't think I had one of those smart bottle things with like the cap.
I don't know, because I don't know how much I drink out of here. I drank a lot before I left the house this morning. Like, I actually drink a lot when I get up with Kenny in the morning. But this one I've had... $12 out of 12 ounces. So I don't know.
Yeah, you probably had more than me still. I think today I've had 20 ounces of water.
I'm probably not that far off of that, but it's also because I had a little bit of chocolate milk this morning, so that's also why. Because I have like really good chocolate milk right now at home, so.
You know how you were talking about blueberries? I went to Whole Foods yesterday because I get my fruit. Even though it's expensive, it's so good there. So like, you know, I occasionally splurge. But I was gonna get blueberries. They literally had no blueberries. Like, other than the ones that were...
The blueberries
like,
at Sam's
ones.
Club were so good.
Really?
They are
I
so
love-
sweet.
I love blueberries. The ones I got at Costco were really good.
Have
too.
to add that to my,
What
add that to your Sam's
I
order.
know, right? You have to remind me next time not bringing the money for them.
So, like, what was the texture of those blueberries? Like, when you bite them?
Firm on the outside, squishy on the inside.
That's like...
If I had any left in my lunchbox, I would let you see one, but I ate them all.
I hate the
Oh, I love those.
Ew. What?
We also have in the summer,
Those are so crisp.
my aunt and uncle, they have 4 or 5 blueberry bushes in their yard that are huge. So like in the summer I'll go pick them, and then we make blueberry jam out of them for the
That sounds
farm.
So good.
And we make blueberry pies. So good.
Really good.
They're like blueberries. Like I don't really like blueberries without something like on them. So like I have like a fruit dip that I will like dip them in just because, but like these blueberries are so good, like I literally could eat them by themselves.
I used to eat like they're probably my favorite fruit. I love blueberries. I used to just get like a pint and I would just like snack on it. I accidentally eat the whole thing like in one sitting. And I'm like, oh. But
Yeah.
like, you know, they were blueberries, so it didn't feel that bad.
No, I love blueberries. I don't know. I think I'm just spoiled because we have farm fresh strawberries like
Yeah.
in the spring,
I love
like
strawberries.
late
too.
spring, early summer. Like we'll start probably picking strawberries probably in a little less than a month, and then garlic will be right after that. But we don't, it depends on how many strawberries we have. Sometimes we sell them, sometimes we don't, but I just am so spoiled with farm fresh strawberries.
I love strawberries.
Normally around Mother's Day we have them because sometimes I make my own chocolate dip strawberries.
Ooh. I like the big ones. Those are my favorite.
Yeah, we usually grow the smaller variety.
Well, my dad always
But-
says he doesn't like the big ones because he's like, you know that they like put stuff in them to like puff them up or whatever.
Well, they're not necessarily as ripe in the middle. Like they might look ripe on the outside, but they aren't ripe all the way through. So, my pineapple on my counter at home is almost ready to eat. I'm gonna try to plant a pineapple,
How?
but it takes 22 months to grow.
So like a pineapple, like a big, normal, full thing. So you did get one.
Not from Hawaii. I didn't bring one back.
Oh.
This one's from Florida. It's kind of sad.
Well,
But I couldn't
At least
justify
it's-
$70 some to bring back a pineapple.
I mean,
why is it so much?
it's foreign enough.
Plus you have to go through an agriculture screening, and I just didn't want to risk it.
So you're not allowed. So you're not supposed to smuggle pineapples back.
No, you can bring pineapples back, but these have to go through a screening, so it just depends on. You can't bring raw sweet potatoes back.
What?
You can't bring. This one was the kicker for me. You can bring coffee beans back, but not ground coffee.
Maybe they don't.
So after I found that out, I was like, I walked up to the lady at the macadamia nut place and I was like, ma'am, I'm not trying to sound dumb, but are we allowed to bring these back to the continental U.S.? She was like, yes. She goes, they're processed, so you can. But like if we went and got them like raw off the tree, we couldn't have. Didn't know that was like a thing, but apparently it's like you can bring back a pest or something. And there's no snakes in Hawaii. Great.
My grandmother would probably be cool with that.
Yeah. my
Although-
mom
She probably still would.
All right, so this one's another one with the picture. Just for kind of reference, this picture essentially ends up looking something like a Star Wars ship. So, you know. Anyways, so top minus bottom on this one. So I've got the integral from -1 to 1. I don't know why in my brain I always feel like that should just end up being 0, like whatever it is, because it's like 1 minus a -1. I don't know. Anyways. X squared minus,
But 1 minus.
which is ends up being
negative
plus.
1 would be 2.
No, I know. I'm just saying like mentally it seems like it should be 0.
Yeah.
Seems like it should just offset.
Yeah.
So we've got x squared minus a -2x to the 4th, so it ends up being plus.
What about the dx?
I'm getting there. had something in my eye.
Was it the dx?
Probably. So I've got to integrate this now, so what do I get when I do that?
Depression.
Why was I about to write that? I was like, yeah.
Like, wait. Are we like saying the antiderivative? Is that what we're?
Yeah.
Okay.
1/3 x to the cubed plus 2/5 x to the 5th.
So I get.
Your nose just popped out like that.
What?
It just went. So jiggly.
So 1/3 plus 2/5 minus negative 1/3 minus 2/5.
Josh, erase something. I think he messed up.
Oh no, I always erase things. You should know this by now.
So then I end up with 2/3 plus 4/5.
I got this. I was born for this.
Virginia is ready.
I'm so ready. My 6th grade math paid off. 22/15. I used to struggle with fractions really bad. I would come home and cry every day. Like, Mom, I don't get it.
And now
That's
you're
so
taking
funny.
calculus.
I know. When I was homeschooled,
I would
oh
totally
my gosh,
laugh.
I was so bad. My mom did not know how to
Like,
teach me
ha ha ha,
fraction.
Virginia's crying again.
Yeah,
ha,
so
ha,
when I
ha.
came here, I was like, I'm gonna fail math. I don't know what I'm doing. I knew like,
Well, clearly you figured it out.
yeah. Eventually, I was like, Mom, I don't understand what you mean. Flip it.
Try doing the backflip or something.
That was my gymnastics stage, so maybe that's when I broke my wrist.
What wrist? Virginia has
Now I
wrists.
have like every time I did.
My
a
wrist is
workout today.
peeling
Why?
from my burn, I guess.
I did a workout today.
She's shedding.
And my wrist hurts so
My hand is
bad.
shedding.
Does it make like
Mine's
dust?
shedding too, but for
Well,
a
of course it
different
is.
reason.
Virginia?
Twins.
Your hands are always shedding.
I know.
I'm
They got
surprised
really-
that like if when you clap your hands you don't make a cloud. Seriously, like, explain that to me. How do you not make a cloud when you clap your hands? To go poof.
I want you to experience this someday. So you won't be making jokes. Once your hands start cracking, when you're like an old man, I'll say, how does it feel? How does it feel now? I could picture him with
Probably really crappy.
I feel like some people, like, you can picture them as an old person. Like, you can see what they'll look like when they're old.
I can see what you look like based on your hands. So what's the interval?
You gotta figure it out.
Meaning?
So we've got to use a calculator to find the area of the region enclosed by the graphs of the two functions. So we're going to need to graph both of these, figure out which one is the top and which one is the bottom, or the right and the left, depending on what's going on. And then from there, we have to figure out the enclosed region. We're going to have to use our zoom trace, most likely, to figure out where the intersection point is. We might be able to use the intersecting thing. We'll see. And that'll give us the interval. And then we'll use the calculator to integrate this for us.
You said zoom who now?
You might be able to use intersect. I'm not sure. Or trace, second trace. Why did I say zoom? I don't know why I said zoom. I was like, that doesn't sound right, but whatever.
Well,
Well, gosh, that hurt so bad.
What?
After I burped, it went up my nose.
Oh.
You might want to use when you do Zoom, trig is what I was trying to say apparently.
I always automatically just do 6. I don't know why.
What in the world?
That's standard. What do you mean, what in the world?
Oh, I have
That's
an
all.
Instagram.
Yes, so do I.
It's like, whoa.
I don't.
Well,
Okay, buddy, where is my?
what's the second one?
I don't know. Let me turn my stat plot off and
Probably-
see.
It's probably like defaulting to this.
Why is it not producing my? Hello? Give me my parabola. What the heck?
I don't see my other one. Yeah, I need to zoom
It's like
out.
boom and then boom. Yes. Okay.
Do you see both yellows, Josh? Oh, how'd you do that? Maybe my window's really. I'm very zoomed in.
I'm only getting one. I'm not sure what's going on
Yeah, I'm
either.
getting one.
Like I can get both, but it's a straight line.
That's what I see when I do standard.
That was not what I wanted to push.
What? Can you press window and check what your X min and max are?
Well, mine's not working either.
Cause Virginia's X min says like negative 352.2 and the max is 350 not 0.2.5 and then 352.5.
On Zoom Standard?
No, Zoom Trade. And then the X like scale is 90.
Well, I'm zoomed in right now, so I'm probably not the best. Well, hold on. Zoom, trig, 7. Yeah. That's what I've got.
I didn't get to that.
Yours doesn't look like this in Zoom trig.
No, hers does.
Oh, it's just not zoomed in or whatever.
Mine looks like that.
What did you push to get that?
Zoom Trade.
Maybe it's just because
But
I'm using the older one.
can you try pressing window and see what it says for that?
What is your window?
Like the X is negative 8.64 for min, and max is 8.64, and the X scale is 1.57.
I'm confused.
Clearly I am too.
Perhaps you're both in degree mode.
I am because I was teaching a class earlier that needed to be in degree mode. Good
I
call,
was
Josh.
probably in for stats. Whoops. Thanks.
No problem.
NP.
That makes sense. That's why the scale was so
I was like,
big.
what is happening?
I
Like,
know.
okay. Anyways, well, we're looking at this region in here. So I need to find the intersection point here. In here. I'm going to make a note here. Radian mode.
Okay, so how far out do you want us to go in terms of like that scale?
Just like 3.
1.15 negative 1.153 is the left one. And then
Should be the same.
yeah, except positive.
Did you get it, Virginia?
Oh yes. I had to remember how to do it.
So then now we would just set up our integral, and we can clearly tell that the cosine graph is on top of, in the part that we're looking at, the cosine one's on top. So we've got the integral from negative 1.153 to 1.153 of the cosine of 2x minus the x squared minus 2 dx. And then you're going to use the NINT thing, or FNINT for Josh. It's finite.
I got 4.33.
Well, I'm actually that was
Very funny. Actually, I got 4.3318.
yeah, well, I got 4.33
And number 16. Find the area of the regions enclosed by the lines and curves. So y equals 2x minus x squared and y equals negative 3. Now, I did not specify this, but in our formula, this would have been f of x, this would have been g of x.
Oh, good job, I already wrote that.
Now, what would this graph on the left look like? Yeah, upside down parabola. And what about the other line?
It would be horizontal. Because
Yeah. So, which one would be f of x and which one would be g of x? Which one's on top, which one's on bottom?
the
The
one
y.
on the left would be f of x. The y would be.
I mean, I'm not wrong.
So, obviously, we could sit here and graph this by ourselves. We don't really, well, we are going to have to do it, I guess, to a point.
To a point. Or two.
Because this is technically no, this is a no calculator question, so, or would most likely be a no calculator question.
Yeah.
So, we need to figure out how to find the area that is enclosed. So, we're going to need to do some graphing.
Oh my gosh.
Can't we just set the other one equal to negative 3? And then solve for where x is equal to negative 3. And then we'll find our points.
You mean our y is equal to negative 3?
Sure, that. What x values make y negative?
You might be able to do it that way, but I would recommend you do it this way because the next one you're not going to be able to do that way. And I think we could use some refresher on how to graph a parabola. So, normally a parabola is of the form ax squared plus bx plus c. So, we have an axis of symmetry at minus b over 2a, which would also be the x-coordinate of our vertex. So for our particular situation, this would be negative 2 over 2 times negative 1, aka 1. And the vertex is at negative b over 2a times, or not times, comma, f of negative b over 2a. So what is the y value when x is equal to 1? Yep. So my vertex is at 1, 1. Which also means, just as a refresher, that there would be an axis of symmetry here. How would I find another point? This is a parabola.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just like that.
How about choose another number, another x value that's not on the axis of symmetry? Maybe like 0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I plug in 0 for x, what do I get?
0. Jinx.
So then if I'm 1 away on the left, this is an axis of symmetry, so I also have to be 1 away on the right, so there's also a point there. Now, I know that my other line is down here at negative 3. Close enough.
Basically the same thing.
So I'm going to see, just because I need to be really specific here, I'm going to see what happens if I go to negative 1 on the x and see if it puts me closer. So if I plug in negative 1 for x, I'd have 2 times negative 1 minus negative 1 squared. So that's negative 2 minus 1, so that's negative 3. That worked out nicely. So I'm 2 away on that side, I have to be 2 away on this side. So the area I'm looking at is, what the?
What?
It's gone.
What? It's gone.
I brought it back to life.
Also, what's happening to your x? In like the y equals thing. Is it normal over there on your tablet? Cause up there it's like.
Where?
We're right next by the 16, the x squared minus it. Oh, there you go.
The thingy had blind spots. Oh, it's just a reflection.
Physics class. Alright, so now what would the interval be where these things are intersecting? From what to what?
Negative 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
Since Virginia wasn't gonna say it.
I was sorry, I'm supposed to do it from live. Yeah.
Smarter than
So I'm looking at the integral
Why is it so thick?
because I had the highlighter on and I didn't change it. From negative 1 to 3 of 2x minus x squared plus 3 dx. And I need to integrate that.
X squared. Minus 1/3 x cubed plus 3x.
Jinx.
Evaluated from. See, I was still going. That's not a jinx.
Yeah, you just catch up.
From negative 1 to 3. So this is going to be 9 minus 9 plus 9 minus parentheses 1 plus 1/3 minus 3 11 minus 1/3 is 10 2/3, which is 32/3. This next problem is long. Yeah. It's like a page and a half for me.
I had 1 line left. Do you think that's enough?
I think you could do it.
Yeah.
All right, so this one is the same thing. I mean, not the same thing, same type of thing. So 18y equals x to the 4th minus 4x squared plus 4, and y equals x squared. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't know what that first one looks like. So I'm going to have to start plotting some points and hoping for the best. So I would recommend we start out with what we do know, which is this. Josh looks concerned. So this would have a vertex at 0, 0. And it would be going up. Actually, let me do this. At 2, it would be 4. Negative 2 would also be 4. Whoa. Come back. All right, now at 0, this other one would be 4. At 1, it would be one. At 2, 16 minus 16 plus 4 would be 4. At negative 1, should be the same thing. It should be symmetric. All right, now, this one's a little bit interesting, okay? It's not just going to go, well, actually, let's do this before we connect the dots. Let's graph that one to see how it all fits together. So you're going to notice there's really some stuff down in here that's happening as well. And so realistically, what my graph of that part should look like is it should really be coming down, up, down, and up. So really looking like a W. So when I'm determining my area here of where I'm looking at, I'm in this middle region, but I'm also in these outer regions. So my different regions that I'm finding the area for are going to be from -2 to -1, from -1 to 1, and from 1 to 2. But what do I know is going to be true about both of these? Yeah, they're going to be the same, so I only really need to do one of them, and I'm going to multiply it by 2.
Okie dokie.
So I'm going to start out with the middle one first, just because, I don't know, I feel like it. So from -1 to 1 of x to the 4th minus 4x squared plus 4 minus x squared dx ends up giving me the integral from -1 to 1 of x to the 4th minus 5x squared plus 4 dx. And then I'll integrate that. I have 1/5 x to the 5th minus 5/3 x cubed plus 4x. Evaluated from -1 to 1. So I would have 1/5 minus 5/3 plus 4 minus -1/5 plus 5/3 minus 4. So I have 2/5 minus 10/3 plus 8. So I end up with
176 over 15.
what?
No, that ain't
Just
it.
76?
Minus.
I confidently
Dang
wrote
it.
that down, and I was like, wait, hold on.
Include it.
Now, that's not the total answer, right? That's
Yeah.
only the middle region.
Hold on. So it's 76?
Yeah.
Okay.
At least that's what I have.
So,
Wait,
yeah. I,
oh wait.
120 minus 50 would
Oh,
be
yeah.
70 plus 6 would be 76. All right, so then I would recommend we do 1 to 2 because it's positive numbers and makes life easier. So the integral from 1 to 2 of, I'm just going to use this one that I already, the x to the 4th minus 5x squared plus 4 dx. And I've already integrated that, so I've got 1/5 x to the 5th minus 5/3 x cubed plus 4x evaluated from 1 to 2. So I've got 32 over 5 minus 40 over 3 plus 8 minus 1/5 minus 5/3 plus 4. So I've got 31 over 5 minus, why am I struggling? Add 5. 35 over 3
I was gonna say, I don't
plus 4. So then over 15, multiplied by 3, 93 minus 15. think this ends up being 22 over 15. And I would need to multiply that by 2. So ultimately I get 76 over 15 plus 22 over 15 plus 22 over 15. And ultimately that should be equal to 8 for the total area. Depending on how much we end up doing with the tuning forks, like basically when y'all decide you get bored, we may pick up a little bit with this unless I find out that
Is it 12 over 15?
Negative.
the final answer is supposed to be 8. Okay, do I have something else wrong then, possibly? Or, well, here, hold on, let's do this. 22 plus 22 plus 76 divided by 15. Okay, something up here is wrong then in my math.
Should we just address this?
Yeah,
in the
we'll
future?
just come back to it.